So what is up, Africana fam? Going straight into this video. This hair is provided by Klaiyi hair. I have their 24-inch body wave 5x5 HD lace closure wig, and the circumference is a 23.5 because I do have a big head. But today I'll be showing you guys how to style your closure wig for beginners. Right now I'm showing you guys how the inside of the wig looks. It does have 3 combs in it, and I did go ahead and bleach the knots off camera. It did come pre-parted and pre-plucked into a middle part. And right now what I'm doing is I went ahead and used a wax stick, and you could get this from your local beauty supply store. My favorite brand is Care wax stick, and I'm going in with my hot comb. I got this hot comb from a black owned brand actually, but you could get the Andis version from Amazon. But what I did is I used the wax stick on top of the part on the hair, and I'm using my hot comb on the hottest setting just to push down the hair so it could be nice and flat. And I'm gonna go ahead and just apply some on the back of where like the closure and the track meet, just so I could cover up some of the tracks with the hair on the closure. And right now what I'm doing is I want to have a frontal effect. And if you are going for a frontal effect, I like to go ahead and just push the hairline backwards and then go ahead with my hot comb on the hottest setting just to push it back so we could get that nice frontal effect. If you don't want this effect, you could just leave it down like how it was before. But I do want it to have it on the natural side. So again, I'm just using my hot comb to suppress it down. So I went ahead and grabbed a medium section in the front, and I'm going to go ahead and use my index finger and my middle finger, and I'm going to turn the section towards me so it should be facing me vertically. And I'm going to use my hair shears just to cut downwards in a diagonal motion. And this just helps me create some layers. I do love putting in layers in my hair because it gives the hair more volume and thickness, and when I curl my hair, everything just flows nicely. So after I'm done with that first section, I'm going to go ahead and just grab more sections going towards the back, and I'm using where I last ended at, the cut where I last ended at, I'm going to go ahead and cut diagonally. So everything should be shaped in a V once you're done. Again, using your index and your middle finger, you're going to grab the section and turn it vertically towards you just so you could go ahead and cut diagonally. And you're just going to use where you last cut at to cut down diagonally, and you should end up with a V-shaped type of cut, as you guys can see. And now you could just leave it at the first step, but with me, I like to add extra layers. So I like to go ahead and start on the top of the wig first. So I'm going into the top of the wig, and I'm grabbing some vertical sections, and I'm going to hold the hair again with my index and my middle finger, and I'm gonna just bring it horizontally and then cut upwards in a vertical motion. And this just gives the hair more body and bounce and just more volume. So what I'm doing as a rule of thumb is I'm just going to go ahead and just cut off any straggly ends that look a bit frail and, you know, see-through. And then what you're going to do is you're going to start grabbing the bottom of the hair in a vertical section, in that same vertical section, but just below it. You're going to use your top section as your guide to see where you cut at. And then I'm going to go ahead and cut upwards. And I'm just going to go ahead and do this all around the hair. Just going to be grabbing vertical sections from the top first, cutting in a vertical section, and then grabbing some hair from the bottom in that same vertical section, and then just using the top as my guide. Hopefully that makes sense. And again, you can skip this step if you don't want heavy layers, but I personally do. So I just like to go in because it just gives the hair more weight. And after I was done, this is how the hair looks. As you guys can see, it looks so much more heavier and thicker from me cutting in those layers. So right now you're going to go into your favorite serum, your heat protectant serum. I'm using my Bio Silk serum. I'm going to go ahead and pour about like a quarter size of it and rub it with my hands and then apply it onto the hair. And I'm just going to go ahead and just apply some on top of the hair. And once I'm going into my sections, I'm going to apply a little bit more because I know I missed a couple of parts. But you don't want it too overly saturated. I just want it to be enough where it's protecting the hair from the heat. Now I'm just going to go ahead and grab this duckbill clip just to help me clip up the hair. And I went ahead and sectioned off about 2 to 3 tracks in the back just to start curling my hair in sections. So that'll be my first section. I'm going to go ahead and just tie the rest of the hair upwards and then use my duckbill clip just to clip away the hair. And for each section, I grab about 2 to 3 tracks. I'm going to go ahead and apply some more of the Bio Silk because it didn't get in the back like I wanted it to. So I'm just going to go ahead and just use probably like a penny size of it and then just, you know, go through the hair. So right now I'm using my Babyliss Pro titanium curling iron and the 1.5 inch barrel. So I'm going to be curling the hair away from my face, and how I do that is my rule of thumb is you want to make sure that the clamp part is facing towards you when you are curling the hair. And what I like to do is I like to go ahead and just pass through as if like I'm using a flat iron on the root part, just because I know that the hair is a body wave and I want to make sure that all the kinks and curls in the hair is gone, so that the hair looks nice and curly without it having the natural wave in it. So I'm just going to go ahead and just pass through the root area just one time. I grab a small section, probably like a 1/2 inch or 1.5 inch section of the hair in the back. I'm going to comb the hair, pass it through just one time like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and just clamp the hair. And you want to make sure that the clamp is facing you just to make sure that you're curling away from your face. And what I like to do is I like to, you know, clamp or half clamp 2 times, and then I'm going to curl it back up towards the root and then drag it back down a little bit and then curl back up. And I let that sit for about 5 seconds once I'm done curling, and then I let that sit in my hand, and I'm going to use my clips. I do have like some metal clips just so I could clamp it. And me pin curling it just helps the curl to cool down and let the heat retain into the hair so that it can be nice and curly and bouncy once we take it out. So again, I'm just doing the same thing. You want to go through the root one time, just make sure that all the natural waves is out. And then I'm going to go ahead and curl. I'm going to kind of like clamp 2 times down, roll it back up, then come back down again and do it again until you get to the end of the hair. And then I like to hold that curl for about 5 seconds and then let it go on my hand, and then I pin curl it. And I'm just going to be doing this all around the hair. And again, on each side, I'm just making sure that the hair is well, the curls are facing away from my face, because I feel like those curls are a bit more face framing than curls going towards your face. So again, you just want to make sure that when you're starting off that the clamp is facing towards you and not underneath. And now I'm going into my Chi hairspray and I'm just going to spray this all around the hair just so that the curls can hold even better. And this hairspray does not make your hair crunchy or anything. It just helps hold the curl. And as you guys can see, this is the finished results. This is how the curls are looking like. I let this sit for about a day and I went ahead and did this the next day. So I forgot to go ahead and cut off the lace in the back of the wig. So I went ahead and just did that. And now I'm putting on the wig. I want to make sure that it's nice and centered because we do have a middle part. And now I'm going in with some scissors and I'm going in the middle and I'm cutting upwards up until the hairline. And I'm going to use my eyebrow razor and I'm going to razor off the hairline or razor off the excess lace that's right next to the hairline. And I'm going in a jagged motion. You want to make sure that you're cutting jaggedly so that there is like no straight line of demarcation. And this just helps disguise the lace into your skin better than you just cutting it across. And now I'm just going to go ahead and take off the clips. And once I'm done with that, I'm going to go in with a wide tooth comb. It's not that wide, but it's a pretty big comb. And I'm just going to go ahead and just comb through the hair. And I like doing this because it makes the curls look more uniformed and just together and more fluffier. I don't like leaving it like this. So you just want to make sure that you are combing through your hair just so that the curls can, form nicely. And you just want to make sure that you keep on playing with the hair until it shapes to your face. I did go ahead and cut in a bit more layers and just recurled certain parts of the hair just so it could fit my face a little bit more. Now my part was a bit over bleached, so I went in with my Klaiyi root touch up, and I got this from my local drugstore. And I'm just gonna go ahead and just apply that near the part just to clean up that part so it looks nice and defined. And I just let that sit and then just let it air dry. I just let it air dry. It dries perfectly fine. And I'm just recurling some of the hair. And I did cut some more layers because I wanted an extreme layered look. And now to finish this off, I'm going in with my concealer brush and I'm just using some concealer just to define the part so it looks nice and defined. And overall, these are the finished results. This is how you achieve beautiful layered curls for beginners. I hope this video was pretty beginner friendly. Like, comment, subscribe to my channel if you have not already for more beginner friendly type videos. And I hope to see you guys in the next one. Later.